All right, welcome to this show. Karibu sana. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi. This is the End FGM Live, which brings you information about FGM from different parts of this country. Today, we are in Samburu, and together with our producers, Tony Mwebia and Antonia Sophia, we shall be interacting with you for the next 30 minutes live on video, on chat, depending on where you are in terms of platforms, and offline. Thank you very much for joining in from wherever you are joining in from. This is going to be a really nice show as we pray for. Today is a cold May. It's on 6th today, just in case you're wondering what day it is, since most of us are still in quarantine or locked down in their houses. So karibuni sana. We will be hosting amazing people. Today we'll be talking about Samburu County, and just a small background about Samburu County and what the people are. And in case you're wondering why you should stick around, we shall be briefing you a little bit much more. Just remember that we are going to be live on Twitter, on Facebook, and YouTube using the hashtag #AndFGMLive. So if you leave a comment on the live chats, please be sure to use the hashtag #AndFGMLive, and we shall try as much as possible to respond. In the next 30 minutes, you will be able to get updates on the FGM situation in Samburu and beyond. And if you have not yet had an interest in FGM or in this county, here are 5 reasons why you should stick around. I'm just going to take you through that. Then we're going to go into a small break. When we come back, introduce to you all our guests today, because we have lots of things to share. Karibu again to this program. I am very happy to be the host today, and I'm also very happy to have you plus all the guests on air. So, a small background about Samburu County. Wondering what Samburu County is all about? Samburu County is a county that's in the northern part of Kenya, almost actually bordering the south of Marsabit. It's a county that is lush, it's green, and has lots of vegetation, wildlife, known for its touristic destinations. And they're called the butterfly colored people, the Samburu people, also from the Mas speaking dialect, I'd say. So we are going to be talking about this beautifully colored people today, about how FGM is being handled in this culturally ingrained practice. 86% is the percentage, basically the second highest FGM prevalence in Kenya, and we are going to go live. There are many issues that are coming up, and as you all know, COVID-19 is causing a lot more problems. Alama's curfew exposes girls to female genital mutilation is a headline that went out on Daily Nation just a few days ago, and Reuters interviewed also the CEO anti-FGM board, and that's the quote that she also gave. So today we're going to be talking about what really is happening in Samburu County. So karibuni sana. I see that we are now full house, one person missing, and we're just going to do a small introduction as we keep on moving on. I see FGM Survivor says, great to hear men are advocating for end FGM. This is great. And we are just going to also get all your feedback. But first, we are going to get our guests introduced. On my right, I see Madam CEO Bernadette Loloju. Karibu sana. We really do appreciate having you here today. And on my right, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you perfectly well. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Kipainoi. I'm here. I'm in Samburu County. I've been around for the last about 6 weeks.
Yep.
And I want to say karibuni sana. I'm here to discuss FGM in Samburu County and give the facts as they have been since I also landed here,
yep,
but also as a government officer who is in charge of the anti-FGM campaign in Kenya.
Amazing. Thank you very much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. It's an honor having you here today. And from Amref Samburu, we are going to get... I was wondering whether it is Viola or Viola. Please let us know what your name is, Miss Ruto, Miss or Mrs. Ruto. I have no idea. I'm sorry for that. But karibu sana to this show. Please just let us know who you are and on what capacity do you represent Amref. Karibu sana.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
I'm Viola Ruto. I work for Hamre in a project for gender that both Samburu and Marsabit.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome everyone to this.
So if I got that clear, then her name is Viola, and she works for AMREF, and they are working in Samburu and Marsabit. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much. We are not getting you very well in terms of the internet connection, but I hope that is going to stabilize a little bit. So karibuni sana, we are still waiting for one more guest, Dr. Josephine Kulea, who is the founder and director for Samburu Girls Foundation, and she'll be joining us in this chat where we'll be discussing the situation of FGM in Samburu. So karibu sana, we really do appreciate that you are here today, and we will be bringing it down to the ground completely, knowing that there are so many things that are happening now that we are in the corona situation. But first, before we do that, I'm just going to go straight to what people are saying. Remember that you are able to comment on Twitter, on Facebook, and also on YouTube. Wherever you're joining in from, we'll be able to read your comments. So feel free to jump in and share whatever is in your mind, ask questions. We will be able to stream them live. My team is also sharing a link where you are able to ask questions live. So we'll be very happy to be able to have that discussion right away. So please go to Facebook, look for my personal account. If you are finding it difficult to get the NFGM live page, please go to Jeremiah Kipainoi and you'll be able to get this chat live streaming. Also go to Twitter. If you are a Twitter person, go to Twitter and look for Men and FGM. Men and FGM, and you'll see the video live and clear, as well as go to YouTube and search for Jeremiah Kipainoi, and you'll be able to find them right away. So thank you very much for joining in. I see people are still commenting, and we are still looping in your questions and also your comments so that we'll be able to read them as time goes by. Thank you very much for joining in. And I have had so many people asking already questions, and we already, just to prepare you, Madam CEO, we already have people reporting actual cases of FGM that have taken place in Samburu. So we're going to talk about that and many more. Karibuni sana to our watchers, I'd say our viewers, wherever you are today. Remember, this is the NFGM live show. I am together with the anti-FGM CEO, Madam Loloju, plus Viola, who represents AMREF Health Africa. Thank you very much. I am going to add Dr. Josephine Kulea, and then we will be back very soon. We will be running this in a moment. Thank you very much again for holding on. I know you have so many questions, so keep them coming in, and then we will be able to loop them out as we continue having this conversation. So don't leave. We shall still keep on reading your questions, and we will see how much of help we will be able to bring to this county. Thank you very much. Looping in Dr. Josephine Kulea right now. A small introduction of her before we move on to the next segment. Again, remember, you can tweet, you can Facebook, and also you can watch on YouTube. Leave down all your comments, and they will stream in live and clear, as you can see on the screen right now. All right, so a small background of FGM in Samburu, for those who had missed it. Samburu County is a county in northern Kenya, and it is a county that borders Marsabit, as Viola had said. It's a county that basically is indigenous. The indigenous people living in Samburu County are actually the Samburu people, I'd say, although more people are coming in. But they are mostly pastoralists, and this means that they are mostly found in hard-to-reach places. So we are going to talk about what the situation is like in this corona pandemic, and it is found in bordering Marsabit County with 86% prevalence, second highest in Kenya. And we had earlier mentioned that there have been reported cases of FGM, and there has been a discussion that has been going or revolving around that. So karibuni sana for those who are joining in, we really do appreciate you being here. I see Vincent watching from Korea for situation updates in Samburu, and he says, and FGM, we had Vincent here the other day, and we are really happy to have you here again today. All right, so we just delve in right straight. Remember, this is the FGM live show. Lots of comments coming in from Facebook. Jeff Mount says, good evening, Dugu, tuned in from Banadir, Somalia. Santosia Nur says, hearing you well. I see more and more people joining in. Keep on commenting, and I'll read your comments right away. Shoot them, because today you have the opportunity to take it to those people who are actually working on the ground in Samburu County. Right away. We have not gotten Dr. Kulea to the chat yet, but she will be joining us in a few, and as soon as we also are able to do so. All right, Madam CEO, I'll just start off with you. You are in Samburu, but you also represent the national government, the body or the board that was mandated to deal with FGM in Kenya. And you've been involved in so many things, from setting up write-ups, from organizing workshops as well. I remember there's one that I attended during launches, and basically trying to make sure that there's as much information about FGM in this county and country as well, working with CBOs, working with NGOs, with partners, basically trying to bring people on board in regards to ending FGM in Kenya. You've been involved in cross-border issues, and now we are going to just talk about the country, the county, where you call home. Karibu sana to the FGM live show. I just want to ask you one quick question. How is it like right now in Kenya? Starting off, because that's your docket.
Thank you very much, Kipainoi, for having me here. It's 6 weeks since the COVID-19 came into Kenya. And so we cannot blame everything on COVID. I know now we are blaming everything on COVID. And it's important for us to know that there was campaigns against FGM before COVID.
Yeah.
And now that we have COVID, what we have done before comes in handy.
Yeah.
To help us deal with the situation now.
Yeah.
As we are coming into this situation, all of us are trying to see how best we can work, and how best we can intervene, and how best we can move forward to make sure that our girls are safe from female genital mutilation. And I will also talk about child marriage, because FGM is very closely related to child marriage, especially in this county where I sit and where I am now part of the community.
Yeah.
FGM and child marriage go hand in hand. And COVID-19 does not make this community to be worse than how they were, because their culture remains and their way of life remains.
Yeah.
What COVID has brought is a situation whereby people are not able really to move around, and are not able to do what we have always been doing without COVID. But we should not blame everything on COVID. We should also be able to say, how can we take advantage of this time when people are at home? They are able to even listen to radio more. They are able to have their children at home. How do we take advantage of that? So the situation in the whole country is under control. As a government, we are working very closely with each other in terms of agencies, in terms of ministries. Now that we have the presidential directive to end FGM by 2022, we are making sure that we are in every corner and making sure that we are alert, just to make sure that our girls and our women are safe from FGM and any other gender-based violence, because we know during this period, this can easily get out of hand.
I'll cut you short, Madam CEO. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm just saying I'll just cut you short, but I'll just get back to that because it's very important information. I can see that Dr. Josephine Kulea just joined us. Welcome, Dr. We are just starting off, so you are not late. You did not miss, they say, the cow's head. So welcome to this show. Karibu sana, we really do appreciate you having you here. A small introduction about yourself, because I talked about Samburu Girls Foundation, but just let us know who you are and what's the situation like now in Samburu West as we speak. Karibu.
Hi everyone. is Dr. Josephine Kulea. I am the founder of the Samburu Girls Foundation. And yeah, I think that's it, unless there's something else you want me to say.
Thank you very much. We really do appreciate you having made time to come here. It's an honor having you here. So we're just going to go straight. So many people commenting already online. And for those who are watching, actually, we are now live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube using the hashtag #AndFGMLive. So if you want to leave a comment on those chats, please be sure to use that hashtag #AndFGMLive. And we shall try as much as possible to respond or to make sure that it's going to go on the screen so that you people can have a better conversation. Antonia, Mwebia, and Antonia Sophia, who are my co-producers, will be interacting with you on the chat as well. So please feel free to ask them questions. And there is a link that you can directly WhatsApp them with. And then we'll be able to also have questions live on the stream from WhatsApp, I say. So thank you very much. As I had said earlier, it's now 11 minutes past the top of the hour, I'd say, since we began. In the next 30 minutes, you will get updated on the FGM situation in Samburu and beyond. If you have not had an interest in FGM or in this county, I'd say, here are 5 reasons that you should stick around. Second highest FGM prevalence in Kenya at 86%. That's Samburu County. And there have been conflicting reports on whether or not FGM is ongoing in Samburu at this moment. We will clear that air today. Graduation ceremonies are in process, and we will see some of us who are in Lororas the other day. So we will talk about that very soon, meaning that many girls will be married off as soon as Morans graduate. And that's going to be clarified also as we speak here. Girls are no longer allowed in rescue centers due to COVID-19. What's being done in that regard, and where are they? Is the government effectively monitoring and responding to cases of FGM during this pandemic? So we have the right people here. We are going to talk about those issues. We are going to clear up the air and see how best we can help the girls during these difficult moments. I'm just going to go right into the chat. I'm going to read as you guys bring it up. I see FGM survivor on Twitter saying, thank you for advocating to be a voice to help. And FGM also says FGM was there and will continue to be there after COVID-19. What's your community doing to stop it? More questions coming in. Please have that conversation on Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube. We'll stream them live as much as we can. All right, let's go and delve right into this. We are here. Corona is here, and we've had so many cases. Some saying they don't exist, some saying they do exist. I'll just start off with Viola. What's happening in Samburu?
Currently, we know that in a few weeks ago, actually commencing in 2018, temporary shelters where boys are circumcised, or it's massacred because the answers coming young elders, and so they need to be young Morans coming in, and so that is what has been happening. Where now this situation where also older girls can be circumcised with the boys, but what we've been doing is ensuring that
Sorry, we can't hear you very clearly. We have some background noise, and also you're breaking a little bit. Maybe I'll just come back to you in a moment. I'll just go straight to Dr. Kulea. Daktari, I know that your organization is based in Kajia, in Samburu West. What's the situation like at this corona pandemic?
Yeah, so thanks, Jeremiah. Samburu County, as Viola mentioned, we have a lot of big manyatas, which are called Auroras, where the boys are being circumcised in masses, but also we as an organization have got reports that of girls being circumcised also in some of those villages. Actually, almost every Lorora was cutting girls. So we have had different numbers from different corners of the counties, and it's sad because some of the people who are reporting are not taking the information to the authorities because they either fear, they will fear that they will be arrested, they just fear the authorities. But as an organization, we've been receiving lots of cases. And for example, there was a case in the side of East where the
That's
East
Samburu
has
East.
so many Lororas.
That's Samburu East.
Yes, Samburu East has so many Lororas, and one of them, for example, there were cases in an area called Lerata, which had almost 5 Lororas, different clans, and a very big number of 70 girls was reported. And we were able to reach out to the authorities, the county commissioner, and they said they'll reach out to the chiefs to stop the same. But 2 weeks later, we were told that the same girls were all cut. And there was, I mean, the community did not stop. I'm not sure if the chiefs did their job, but at least they were confirmed that the 70 girls were cut. We also got a call from Samburu West, one Lorora in Lorukoti. They said 45 girls were cut. And then we also got another one in North called Muruangai, 22 girls were cut. So basically what I'm trying to say is different villages were reporting different numbers, but the issue here is very few are reporting before, most are also reporting after. And you know there's a big difference of reporting a case before the FGM, and because that gives people time to plan, to rescue, to, all that. But what the community is doing, most of them are reporting after. And when you report after, it's even difficult to prove, because now you cannot tell the children to come and line up and dress so that we confirm. So there's a gap of what should happen before the FGM, if people want to report, and what should happen actually after it's happened, so that we know what to tell those whistleblowers as they report what they should exactly do. So I think there's a gap where the whistleblowers are not sure what to do or who to go to, because, for example, there are whistleblowers who have reported to the chiefs, and some chiefs are part of the community, and they fear. Some chiefs fear to take action, so they end up accepting, being part of the process. And I know that in that fear of the law, even the commissioner's office, if they ask such of chiefs, I'm sure they are scared to say there is, so they automatically say there is no FGM to save themselves from any question. But for sure there's FGM going on, and maybe what we just need to agree is most people are not reporting to the authorities, and when they report, it's already too late. Most girls are cut.
I'll cut you short, Daktari. On Daily Nation, there is an article that you were quoted, and you say just what you just said, that there is FGM in Samburu. And we've had a conversation with many activists, and also we've seen responses from the office of Madam CEO, which she's also going to mention about today, that on Reuters, actually, in an interview, they sent police officers and they did not find any evidence that the girls were cut. Madam CEO, I'll just bring this to you. What is the situation, the real situation in that regard? Is it happening? Is it not happening? And what's the government doing about it?
Thank you very much for Dr. Kulea, because Dr. Kulea is one of the major stakeholders in Samburu County. And late March, as we were starting April, we talked with her, and we were aware that there was a high risk for girls to undergo FGM in the Lororas, because the Lororas, that's where the boys were getting circumcised. And I took up this issue with the county commissioner, Samburu County, and we were able to put our chiefs, our village elders, on very high alert, and even sent some to the Lororas in the east. I confirmed that the Lororas in the east were around 79 in the whole of east. At that time, we needed to move around, but at the same time, we had the issue of COVID-19. And so I had to contact one of the other partners, that is AMREF Health Africa, to see how best we can have PPEs for the chiefs and the Nyumba Kumi and the people that we had put together to go around the Lororas to check on the girls. And so we were able to do that, to get the PPEs from AMREF. And then the chiefs and some of not the chiefs only from that area, because that's the area that had so many Lororas, we had to do that in that area. And I can assure you, when they went round, they did not make it to go around the whole of 79, but they were able to go around quite a number, about 40 Lororas, but they never found any evidence of the girls. They only found that the boys had been cut. And as Daktari has said, the issue here is reporting, because if the reporting is not being done, or even when they see the chiefs or they see the police and they hide the girls, or I don't know where they went, because we were informed that there were no girls in the Lororas, there were only a few girls who were helping the families, then that one is a confirmation from my side that there was no evidence that girls had been cut, or girls are being cut even now, because now I know the Lororas have been disbanded. And some of the clans that want to have Lororas have been directed by the government to have in August and not now. So I want to confirm again, just the way I had said earlier, the only situation that we have been able to deal with is one FGM case that was in side of North Horn, I think that side. Then we have another 2 cases which were brought to our attention by Samburu Girls Foundation of 2 girls. 2 girls who are at risk of early marriage. The first one, we were able to deal with it with the chief of the area. And the second one, which happened just yesterday, we are already dealing with the issue of the girl, and we have been able to make sure that the girl is safe for now, as we now follow the process of making sure that we follow up with the family. So these 3 cases were reported, and we had the contact details of the people we were to contact. And as a government, we went ahead and contacted them and safeguarded the girls. So the issue here is the reporting mechanism. If the authorities are not being reported to, or whenever the authorities are seen, then people hide. This is an issue that we need to deal with and see how best we can buy in the communities. In fact, for us to be able to win this war, we really have to buy in the communities. They have to come to our side. Like, I can give an example. The girl whom we rescued yesterday from child marriage, the mother is very aware, because the whole of last night I was able to interview her. The mother is aware that she was running away. She's the one who even made her to run away, because the father wanted to marry her off. The person who brought her all the way from where she was coming to Maralal is like a cousin to her. It's a man. So you see, we have a young man who has facilitated the girl to come to Maralal, and we have the mother of the girl being on the side of the daughter. So you see, if we have buy-in of the community, then we will win the war. The law is very good. The law is very good, but what the law is doing is that we are seeing that the law is making the practice go underground. So we have to now use more of community dialogue. When the situation just started off in early April, we went on radio, myself and Dr. Kulea. We spoke to the community, and we also ran a 10-day radio talk or radio advert, where we were telling the community about FGM and COVID that was supported by AMREF. So you see, we need to really do a lot of dialogue. We need to really do a lot of buy-in, and you will see that we will have good examples like what we saw yesterday, where the mother is aware that the girl is running away, and the brother was facilitating her getting out of home. But you can see the Samburu community, for those who don't understand, it is the men who have the voice. The women have no voice. So even today, if the father of this girl realizes that the mother was part of the deal for her to run away, she'll be in big trouble. So you see, we have to have the community buy-in. Yep. And for this, for your information, Kipainoi, we need the buy-in of the men in a community like this one.
I'll cut you short, Madam CEO. Thank you very much. That's a very important point as well, in terms of bringing or looping in men in this conversation. But today we are talking about not what we are supposed to do, but what we are actually doing. You talked about the law, and I'm just going to talk about the law as well. The Female Genital Mutilation, the Prohibition of the Female Genital Mutilation Act 2011, section number 19 says offense of female genital mutilation, and it says that a person who is, including a person undergoing a course or training while under supervision of a medical practitioner or midwife with a view of becoming a medical practitioner or midwife who performs female genital mutilation on another person commits an offense. And I'm just going to go round and round very quickly through the act to just bring a picture that actually FGM doesn't have any excuse, no matter who you are, as long as you are doing it here in Kenya. It also says any person who is aiding and abetting female genital mutilation, person who commits an offense under section 19 on another person to perform female genital mutilation on another person, commits an offense. So anyone who does the circumcision herself or himself actually commits an offense. And procuring a person to perform FGM or in another country, if for example we say we move from Samburu and go to Ethiopia or go to Sudan and do FGM, then that person commits an offense. Use of premises to perform female genital mutilation, any person. And I was talking to this about this in previous shows where people say they do not have access, yet the law says the use of premises to perform female genital mutilation. If, for example, I use my house and host girls to be cut, then that's an offense on my side. Possession of tools or equipment. If I'm found with razor blades that have which evidence draws me to that were used or have the intention to be used for FGM, that's an offense. And also a failure to report commission of an offense. So if FGM is practiced, for example, on children and you fail to report it, then that's actually an offense. And many people are going against this, including, and these are reports that are being made, and you're going to bring up a story about that later today, which will also task you all to follow up on. Failure to report commission of an offense, that people know that FGM is going, but they keep quiet. You talked about community dialogue, but sometimes the law is also being put on the side, and we want to talk about balancing between community dialogue as well as balancing it with the law. So many more are coming up. Use of derogatory or abusive language is also an offense. I'll just bring that to a close, but just before we take a small break and we get down back to AMREF on what they've been doing, I'll just go back straight to reading what people are saying online. Remember that you can always tune in online via Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and we will be very happy to read your comment. Marilyn Sorensen says, has the FGM rates increased during quarantine like it is in November, December season? Maybe you can just have a quick response to that as I keep going through these questions. Has it increased during this quarantine? I think I just direct her this question to Amref.
Okay, thank you. I hope my network will behave this time round.
Yes, now you are very loud and clear. Thank you very much for fixing it.
Yeah, so as Kulea said, there's just been reports that there's been an increase of FGM during this week, but as we went to the ground, again, we did not discover that. But in December, of course, the cases are more. What I emphasize is the fact that we, as even the people that give us information, we can protect them so that we can get to a few of the cases and try to see whether the perpetrators can be put into the cases taken to court. Because it's also important that we don't leave these issues the way they are. Like now we know this number of girls have been circumcised in a certain place, but you've not taken any action at all. I am aware that in December we had some cases in Wamba, and we were able to protect the witnesses that brought in the issues, and those cases were followed. Some of the girls were able to be protected from the cut, but others that had been cut, we were able to take their parents, to jail, and the case is running. So we can take a few of those cases and see how far we can go, because it's important that if a case is taken, the community sphere. When we do dialogue conversation, and we ask communities whether they're aware of the legal frameworks of FGM or child early marriage. They are fully aware, and they actually put some of the cases or some of the families that have been affected. Probably some of them were charged and they went to jail, jail terms or fine. So they fear from circumcising the girls when those cases are handled to the end. But if they are left like that, then they know there's nothing, no action that will be taken, and they can continue practicing them in secret. So I don't know, at the end of this conversation, we need to find a way forward on how we are going to handle these issues so that the girls are protected from FGM during this period.
And I think that's the most important thing in the long run, because we can have this conversation, talk, but really don't come with any solution by the end of the day. So that's actually a resolution that you have made, and please remind us not to forget it. But before then, we'll just take a small water break, and when we come back, we will just go straight to the questions that people are asking. Remember, you can always ask the questions on Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube. If you do not see your comment on the stream, please go to Twitter and they will reflect on this place, or just click the link that is being shared by Antonia and Tony online, and you will be able to reach our WhatsApp page. So thank you very much for joining and tuning in. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and on my left, I do not know how the screen is like to you, but on my left top is Dr. Josephine Kulea, and just next to me is Madam CEO Bernadette Loloju and Ms. Ruto from AMREF also. Thank you very much for joining me on this broadcast. We'll be back in a while. All right, we are back. Thank you very much for joining us once again. This is the FGM live show, co-produced by Antonia Sophia, together or Pamoja with Tony Mwebia. Thank you very much for joining in today. With me is Dr. Josephine Kulea. On my left, I see also Ms. Ruto from AMREF, and also see on my side the CEO Anti-FGM board, Madam Loloju. Thank you very much for joining us, and we just go straight to the questions that you have been asking. Remember, we had said that there is a link online that you can use to shoot the questions, and then from then we will ask for recommendations, because we are very experienced people here today on the best practices that are actually happening in Samburu, on the things that are that will best be done in Samburu to improve the situation before we bring this to a close. Remember, you can reach us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Just search for FGM Live. Thank you very much. We are just going to go straight to the questions. And all right, question number 1. And these are questions that are being forwarded to our team. So you'll see Tony Mwebia there. Question number 1. Our men in Samburu needs a lot of training, especially the Morans. How can we make this happen? So I'm going to throw this to Dr. Kulea. Tony Mwebia, also a question coming in. What engagements are being done in areas like Suguta Marmar and Posta, which is the border with Laikipia? where this is rife. So I'll leave that to also Dr. Kolea, because that's almost towards west. Reports in Samburu, girl from Poro, Ngano, has been married off. FGM was done in morning and taken to groom's place at night. The girl was married off at Kisima, and the village admin from the girl's home, even the name is mentioned, Mandil Lintipo, who is brother to father, knows it, and the chief, Samuel, knows it. The child is 12 years or less. Class 6. Last week, the reporter is requesting for anonymity. That's something that we'll follow up on, and we'll keep you up to task. But I'll still task us to have that conversation. Do you know that that happened? Have you had any reports on that? And we will task you on following up on that. Wangeshi, hi. How can I tune to your show? What engagements are being done in areas like Suguta Marmar and Posta border with Laikipia? That sounds like a place that needs to be looked at. I haven't seen or heard any of the trainings, talks, recruitment of young men to end FGM. What measures have been put in place during the COVID? This is such a rife time for the spread, as well as children being handed over to pedophiles. So I'll leave that question to Madam CEO, because what is the government making sure that, what is the government doing to make sure that, sorry, we have some noise in the background. What is the government doing to make sure that everything is, like the girls are safe during this time? And then the next question is, what is the procedure of what should happen when FGM is about to happen? And if no action has been taken, what is the procedure after it has been done? For example, I think I would paraphrase this so that I delegate it to Ms. Ruto. What is the procedure of what should happen? Like, what should someone do when FGM is about to happen? And when they do, when they make that step, what action, and now action is taken, what is the next step they should take? So I hope you got that well, Ms. Ruto. What does the government consider as evidence in an FGM case? Yes, what does the government consider if you are going to court, for example? And this also goes to Ms. Ruto. You say that people have been taken to court. What does the government consider as evidence? So those are questions coming in. Please remember that we will be able to have more and more coming in the next few minutes. But first, we'll have those ones that you asked answered. Remember that you can still shoot more questions from social media. I see all right, I see more and more people joining us today. Thank you very much for joining in. Remember that today we are here with amazing ladies working in the anti-FGM campaign. And on my right, on my left, top left, is Dr. Josephine Kulea, and we also have Ms. Ruto. And I see also the CEO Anti-FGM Board, Madam Loloju. So someone from social media is also saying FGMC is rampant in Marsabit as it is in Samburu. Ending it in 2022 seems unrealistic. Mukogodo Girls Empowerment Program on YouTube says good job, men and FGM. And FGM is deep-rooted in the Ma culture. We need to sing an endless song until we end FGM. Keep them coming, and we will keep them reading as much as we can. Now to the questions. We begin on my right. Ms. Ruto, the government, what happens during the cases, for example, as I had showed before?
So normally when a case happens, like if someone reports that a girl is about to be circumcised, the best thing is to act immediately. That is to rescue the girl or put the girl in a safe place that she does not harm. Most when we get to court, we will send the chief or the champion or whoever has reported to us, and we link with the police and we ensure that that girl has been rescued. Well, there are times also we've even engaged with the Dr. Kulea to help us keep some of the girls in rescue center. So we use the rescue centers that are available to us, boarding school, even the homes of our champions. So the best thing is to immediately take the girl away from the risk. The next step now, if the FGM has already been conducted, we should not lose hope. We need to cancel the girl. So we need to still have the girl with us and ensure that the case is reported to the police. And after that, a linkage is made to the health facility, where the girl is given psychosocial counseling and support, and an examination can be conducted to verify. You see, this is a really delicate process, but it has to be done, because that is the medical examination will give us the report, whether the girl has undergone the circumcision or not, and if she needs any medical support at that point. So I think those are the necessary steps to be done, but the best thing to do is to prevent. So anyone who knows that a girl is about to be circumcised should report immediately. We've worked with the youth, the male youth, the Morans themselves, where they've been able to rescue their sister from FGM. So we also work in schools to tell the children, in case they are aware that for them to be circumcised during the holidays or any other time, that they should immediately inform their teachers or the people that they are comfortable from immediately, so that conversations can be held with the parents. There are incidents where we've rescued girls, kept them in a safe place, and at the same time held discussions with parents.
All right, I'll cut you short there. I'll just cut you short there. We have very limited time as we speak right now, and we'll just go next to Dr. Kulea, and I'm very confident that the points that actually you shared with us are something that's some things that are actionable on the ground, because we've had situations where people think that they are incapable simply because they are part of a community that practices that. So I think that point is really important. But because of time, we'll just move on to Dr. Josephine Kulea on the points that we had mentioned before we go back to this case that had been mentioned here of the girl that was married off in Poro area. Thank you. Karibu Daktari.
Jeremiah, I didn't hear you most of the part, but I'll answer what I was supposed to answer briefly. First, you talked about engaging the Morans. As SGS, Samburu Girls Foundation, we've been working with the youth both in school and out of school, especially on reporting the matters. And even the Moran that Bernadette was talking about, that brought the girl yesterday, is one of our community champions, and he actually rescued his sister in another incident. He already rescued his sister, so that was his neighbor. So it shows that if we engage the young men, they will protect the girls in their villages. So I think we need to all adapt to that. But we also need to approach more of the youth out of school, because they're the majority, the Morans, and they're also the ones marrying young girls without knowing that it's illegal. So they need to also to be trained and to be taught, and also buy in to them as champions. For the Sukuta area, the hotspot that you mentioned, Samburu Girls Foundation, for the last 1 month, through the partnership of Too Young to Wed, one of our partners, we have gone around all the villages that are hosting our girls. Since the COVID-19, the government disallowed putting children in shelters and institutions. So we were able to take most of our girls to their families, those we've reconciled, and those that did not have families to go to, we got family friends who would host them. So our team has been going around to each village, doing a checkup on the reporting, and also collecting data and information from the neighboring girls who are having issues. And that is how we were able to get some of the information of the girls that we have helped to rescue, like the one CEO has mentioned. So I would like to say that with partnerships, this awareness can be reached everywhere, because I don't think there is one organization or one entity that can be able to do it alone. So we need to partner more, especially like the Too Young to Wed. What they have done with us is, we started 5 years ago. Even before the corona, they came and trained our girls on different things. And then they came and supported them to go to school. And now they are helping them while at home. So I'm just putting forward partnership, because partnership to all of us is very important. I know we've been partnering with the TFGM board and the county commissioner's office. Viola mentioned the cases that they've been referring to us, but I believe if us as partners, we can do more and also map out areas that we think everyone is jurisdicted and ensure that those areas are well covered, I think most of these cases we can even form a task force for Samburu to so that these things are on our tables, all of us at the same time, because it seems right now there's a gap in reporting and there are many missed opportunities, because I believe if each of us had an opportunity to save those girls, there would be. But since there is that gap of information, everyone is trying to say what they know. And I'm sure, what I know for sure, FGM is happening, but we need to come up with other solutions on how we can reach out to those girls. Because I had both of you say there was no evidence of FGM when you go to the village. But sometimes when you reach to a village, everyone would want to conceal a mistake. So you wouldn't tell. They would even cover up, even if there was one who was being cut right then when you arrived. So I think it is not something that you can just walk into a village and find out it has happened right now, unless it was you are being called to arrest someone. That's the only time we arrest people on the spot. But if it has already been done, it's difficult to know that they have already undergone. So I believe if we have a platform that we can share information, then all of us will be on the same page. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. I just wanted to cut you short because it seems to me that there is lack of coordination, because as you had rightfully said, you cannot go to a manyatta and you find people being cut and they just expose it, because they also know that it's against the law. But what always asks me and also makes me think about it much more in terms of how we coordinate issues is, like, for example, you had said there is a reported case, and then the officers actually go to the ground and still not find the evidence. How are we coordinating in regards to the organizations that are on the ground to make sure that this actually comes to fruition, that people know that we have eyes on the ground, and we make sure that any case that is on the ground, any case that emerges, then is reported and is taken action upon. It's not like, okay, we had 70 girls and then the girls were cut and then we could not do anything. Is there anything that you have taken, any steps that you have taken to make sure that this can actually come to fruition? Dr.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
I'm saying, are there any steps that you have taken to make sure that this comes to fruition in terms of collaboration, working together, for example, working with the Anti-FGM board, working with AMREF, together with Samburu Girls Foundation, and any other organizations that are working towards such causes like child protection, to make sure that there are no loopholes in trying to help these girls when they are going through FGM?
So when you speak of coordinating the efforts in Samburu County, I think we've not grasped that, partnership to the nitty-gritties. What we've done is everyone has been consulting one another when they need to, but we don't have a coordinated platform, because for me, I believe it is the government, for example, that should guide us on how we are supposed to work. But at the end of the day, we are still working individually with the relevant government offices. So I think there needs to be a deliberate partnership plan moving forward. Because yes, we have partnered in our small ways, but I think there's a need. For example, like right now, COVID is a trigger to mass girl circumcision because of also the situation of the community. But I believe if we, the partners, can create some kind of task force right now, moving forward, so that we have this coordinated information, and whoever is closer to the source or to the girls who are suffering can take up the issue with the authorities who are closer to them, I think it would be a better way of approach. Because what I know right now, even the few youth who have reported the cases are already discouraged, because even if we want to get in more information from them, they're like, we reported last time and nothing happened, so we are not going to report again. Some are like, just the message, like the message you've read, we are telling you this in secrecy, please don't report us. But now if you need more information, sometimes these people are even out of connectivity, out of network. So when you call them, they are not reachable, so you can't get more information. So sometimes you hold back because you only know the number of girls and the area. But the areas have many villages. So you cannot specify and say Niwamba. Wamba is huge. Wamba is, there are two wards actually in Wamba. There's Wamba West, Wamba East, Wamba North, and Wamba East. So if we can't be specific, like which village, so we can't have all the details that we need, then those girls will not be helped. But for me, I would request that the government would, maybe Bernadette will take this to the county commissioner, that we need to have through even if it's all the chiefs across Samburu County. I know Samburu County is huge, some with, as I mentioned, without connectivity, but I still believe if we take up the current cases as reported, then we use every chief as our target point, and make sure that all of us are involved from the reporting of each case because, like, for example, if all the girls run away, for example, because that's what we tell some girls, if you have nowhere to report, try to run away and get to some safety. But most girls cannot run away. Why? They are either in a very remote place, there's no police station close by, there is no children office. And mentioning children office, right now in Samburu, we only have one active office in the west. Samburu East and Samburu North have no children officers. We have officers, but they have no officers. That even leaves the children more vulnerable, because a child in Wamba or Samburu East has to report to Maralag, which is in West. A child in Samburu East, North, has to report to Samburu West. So we have a gap in the Office of Children office, and I hope that the national government can take up this matter, because children cases are slipping out of people's fingers, because having to travel over 200 kilometers to report a child matter is not a joke. And also, we have to know that how are the police supposed to handle those cases? Because some police officers do not understand that it's an emergency. For them, for example, if you report a case that a child is in trouble, then a police officer, like yesterday, if it was not Madame Bernadette, what happens normally in Samburu is there is a reported case in a police station, they will lock them up in a cell because they don't have somewhere to put the girls. So you see, we have these gaps that I believe that once there's dialogue, there is partnership, and there is the concern for the girls. That is my biggest concern. If the girl is the cornerstone of the agenda of ending FGM, then we are going to achieve. But if we are all just going to be talking about this is happening, this is not happening, then I don't think we are doing anything. For me, I believe actions speak louder than words.
Actions.
Yes.
Let me just cut you short, Dr. Actions speak louder than words, and I just want to cut you short down there because of the time that we have as well. So we just want to see what are the best practices in one sentence. What is the best practice that you think would be able to will enable us to come together? And again, one more thing that I would like us to do when the CEO is back is us to commit that we are going to follow up on the cases that have been reported. But starting off from Ms. Ruto, what is one best practice that you would recommend in regards to ending FGM in Samburu?
In the that we have the situation, I think the conversations go on. Now we are engaging youth in social media platform, and we are also having champions, community health workers, and chiefs and village administrators to be vigilant and monitoring our girls in the village, so that in case anything happens, there is immediate report to get the girls from it.
Thank you very much. So you say people have to coordinate more, if I'm right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. One sentence from you, Dr. Kulea.
I thought you're giving Bernadette to speak.
Yes, and then she will say hers and finish off with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we closing?
Yes, almost closing.
Okay. So my parting shot is this. Okay, to our partners, I think the best solution to help girls is let us educate them. If you have funding to support girls, please invest in education. Education is the only way you can help a Samburu girl to get out of trouble. Because even if you buy her a school uniform or a bag, it is not enough. They are selling her for 8 cows because of poverty. So if we help pay for their school fees, And I encourage until tertiary level, we are going to help those girls. And if a case is reported, let us take the girl away from the environment, because once she's out of that environment, she's safe. And because I believe classroom is the safest place for girls, we should ensure that our communities are taking all our girls to school.
Thank you very much, Dr. I think that was more than one question.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the nice words. And I think there are things that are actionable. We do not have much time. Madam CEO, there are 2 questions short to you. Please just go through them quickly and then give us one more. Like just as they had say, what's next? Yes, let's go.
I cannot tell you, Kipainoi, I can remember the questions. These boys have just been here asking things and I'm using sign language. So let me say this. I want first of all to thank Men and FGM for putting this together. Number 2, I want to thank Josephine Kulea for the work she has done in this county. Number 3, Amref Health Africa, thank you for the intervention. I want to say that Samburu County needs focus, because even the number of partners in this county are very few. And this county is very massive, and this county has so many, we need a lot to be done here. And as the CEO anti-FGM board, I've been trying as much as possible to work closely with the partners who are here. The coordination has not been very good, but I want to assure you now with the, when we have the policy that that was launched by the president, and with the presidential directive, things are going to move faster. And on the desk of each county commissioner in Kenya today, they have a directive to form the sub-county anti-FGM committees and the county anti-FGM committees for better coordination of the anti-FGM campaign, because we need to move this forward and have FGM end by 2022. I want us to focus on 2022. Let us not lose the goal. Whether you are an activist, whether you are a CBO, an NGO, a young person in this country, let us focus on 2022. It is possible, and it is possible for our girls to be safe. When I look at these girls and I look at their eyes and I see the problems they have, we have to get these girls out of this poverty. We have to get these girls out of these problems. I know education is the way out. As Kulea has said, education is the way out, but it has obviously not been smooth in terms of making sure that every...
All right, I think we lost Madam CEO. I think we lost her, but thank you very much. I think we heard what she said, and I would like to bring this to a close. But before we do so, so many good comments coming our way. I see someone from Zambia is saying, tuned in from Zambia. Well, we do not have a high rate of FGM in Zambia. We have an increase in GBV and SGBV to address our to address this. Our organization is increasing male engagement and also family engagement. Ending FGM is very possible, especially communities and family health beliefs and myths are addressed with the family at the center. More and more questions are coming in. I'm sorry we will not be able to address all of them, but thank you very much for joining us today. Remember, this has been the End FGM Live. We just had one commitment that we hope that with the CEO, if she was still present on this call and still going to try add her. All right. So we are still going to follow up after this, but basically we are going to. I want the two of you. I say Dr. Josephine Kulea and also Mr. Ruto to commit, and if not, it's still okay on this broadcast, but to follow up on the case that was reported specifically from Poro, where a girl was married off and was cut and married off in the same day in Kisima. So if you would make that promise, you would have made my day.
Yeah, so I will ask you to send me the details of the person so that I inbox them so that we get more details. We can only follow up if we have information. Thank you. Yes.
All right.
Thank you. I think we commit to working together with Dr. Kulea, so we need to link more.
All right. I think we lost her as well, but she said that she commits with on working she commits that they are going to work together and make the situation better in Samburu. Thank you very much for joining us today. So many people still commenting. Veronica says, thank you for the consistency. Indeed, education, both formal and otherwise, is crucial. Vincent says, glad to hear from the panel. Madam Viola Karibu Kuria. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here today. This has been the 6th of May, and we've been in Samburu County. We are going to bring this to a close. But before we do so, these are organizations, and we have to let people know if they are in distress, how do they reach out to us? Viola, how do people in Samburu reach out to AMREF Health Africa in case there is a case?
Okay. Can you get me?
Yes, we can get you loud and clear.
Can you get me now?
Yes.
Okay, so we have an office that is, we are based in Wamba. So you can reach us in Wamba. Our office is just next to the health center. So when you ask around, you will know where we are. We also have champions on the ground, many of them who know about AMREF Health Africa. So you can reach us through directly or also through the champions and the chiefs. Yes.
Thank you very much. Very quickly, Dr. Kulia, how do people reach out to you and your organization?
We have a rescue center in Losuk, and the girls know it, the community know it. We have our Facebook page, you can inbox us. We have a number that you can reach us. It's on our website, www.samburugirls.foundation. So yes, reach out to us. People have tagged us on Twitter. We've always got all kinds of information from all social platforms. So thank you very much. I think it's been a great deliberation. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We're just going to go out right now, but thank you very much for joining us. I really do appreciate having you here today. We're just going to bring this to a close. For those who are watching from different parts of the world, thank you very much for tuning in all through. Remember, this has been the End FGM Live, supported, basically it's a collaboration between Men and FGM, Zinduka, as well as individuals, Tony Mwebia and our co-producer Sophia Antonia, as well as Jeremiah Kipainoi, your host. Thank you very much for being here with us today. Until tomorrow, we will be in Kajiado tomorrow. Stay safe. Remember, wash your hands and protect your family and friends. Kwaheri ya kuonana, and see you tomorrow, same time, same place.